record. So when we're going to the designs template to get to our magazine, we are going to go to designs on the left, and we're going to click the plus button in the lower right corner, choose print, and click next, and let it load. On the left hand side, we're going to pick lead generation and personally branded zine, which stands for magazine, obviously. And we're going to click the use button. We will get some more iterations of this as we move forward. This is just the first one. So that being said, now we are in our template. So let me turn my volume off. All right. So here's the way I've been thinking about this. This is made to be a quarterly magazine. So it's got 3 articles in it. And if you don't want to just send it out quarterly and you wanted to send it out monthly, then you could break the articles down, right? Because this works just like the listing brochures and the buyer guides, is that you can add your pages. So what I recommend doing is going ahead and adding the cover by clicking the plus button over on the left-hand side template. And then you can change this as you like. Add your name here or your agent's name. And Kristen, I'm going to make you a co-host in case somebody else comes in, if you would let them in from the waiting room.
Okay.
And then we're going to change our office name to our correct market center. And so I do recommend having this here. One thing that I'm going to do, because I am going to break this down so I can send it out once a month, I'm going to choose which article I want. So that you see they have the 3 articles listed here at the bottom. I'm going to do the budget. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this and highlight it and delete it. And maybe drop in like our team logo here or something like that. I'm going to go to my assets and under logos, you can just add like your team logo or something down here at the bottom, like so. And then if you're getting rid of this article too, you could put something like featured listings or something like that. So I'm just going to say featured listings and make that a little bit bigger, not that big. And once I come off of there, I should be able to do that. So whatever else you want to put in your article or in your monthly newsletter. And so once I have this cover the way that I want it to look, I would probably go ahead and save just this page as an image, and I'll show you guys why here in a little bit. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and download this as a PNG and start the download and save it to my computer. We'll let that do its thing. There we go. Okay, so now we can go back into the template. So if you want to have this note from the broker, you can go ahead and hit the plus button. That will be your second page. So we can lift the bottom up and see our pages. Go ahead and get rid of this blank page. And so now you see we have the cover, and then we have the note from the agent on our pages. And then if you wanted to include like your year in review here, you would just click the plus button there. And our wonderful MCAs do send these numbers out for us, which is great. And so here is that budgeting article that I want to include in mine. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button. The articles are not editable. Everything else is. So I'm going to add each page of my article and then say that I wanted to feature a listing. And so you'll see, here's the next article. I'm going to save that and send it out next month, right? And so if you wanted to add any other pages, or if you wanted to do it quarterly, you absolutely can. But there's tons of pages in here. It's super long. So you have some success stories, your next article, hot winter listings. You can do like an Ask the Agent, pop in a reminder to download your app, and just add whatever stuff you want to add here. And so then you'll see the pages that I have are the cover, the introduction, which I doubled up somehow. I'm going to get rid of one of those. The article that I'm featuring this month, and then I could do some featured listings, a reminder for my app, end. So I think that that would be good if you wanted to send it out once per month. And obviously you would go through and edit the pages that are editable with your name, a note from, come over to text, go to my assets, and I can just hit replace on this to replace.
Oh, nice.
And click that image and replace it with mine. Let that do its thing. Can double click here if I need to fix the crop.
Yeah.
So, and that's their company logo, so I could replace it with my company logo if I so chose. Make that smaller. And of course I could edit all this out. And I mean, it's got pretty good verbiage in there, but if you wanted to just make it your own, then you could definitely do that here and add your name, phone number, email address, and website at the bottom. We won't waste time with all that editing, but you know, you just double click and replace what you need to replace.
Right.
So we're going to pretend like we did all that. And then I don't need to edit the article pages at all. I could edit my featured listing page, like hot winter listings. You could just pull some from the MLS. Of course, if they're not yours, I would definitely ask for permission. But if you have your own 6 listings, that's great. If they already went under contract, that's okay. You can do 2 that are live, 2 that went under contract in 24 hours, and 2 that recently closed, or something to that effect. And then we would save all of this stuff here. We always want to make sure that we rename our design. So this is Monica's magazine for February.
Monica, is there any way for KWRE to, for people with an abundance of homes that they're listing, to self-nominate the properties they would like to be included in this? And then those of us that, I don't have any properties to promote, but I don't want to have to spend my month chasing down people who want their properties highlighted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's something we could talk to Candy and Anna about, if they would be okay with maybe posting a survey of who is willing to let agents put, you know, their listings in their magazine. I don't think that that would be a problem. We could definitely ask. Right. But you know, I'm very selective on which ones I would probably want to put in. Candy about agent sharing listings. So, you know, if I was making this today, I would probably go into the MLS and look for 6 active properties that are in the area that I want to be in, and then shoot those 6 listing agents an email and ask if they mind if I use it. But totally, I'm sure that we can ask Candy if agents would be willing to volunteer their listings. So we can do that once this class wraps up, Jim. Absolutely. Okay.
Thanks.
Sure. So we're going to make sure that we name it. And now we can do a couple of things. We can download it as a PDF, right? You want to attach it as an attachment to an email. If you want to print it out locally, if you want to send it to a printer to get a higher quality one made, then you might want to download some high resolution PDF copies of this and save it to your computer. So that is one option, right? So we'll let that do its thing. It's downloading the PDF for us now. And this is how it would look. Obviously, you would have edited it with your stuff in there. Here's your one article. Jim, I think you came in a little bit late. We were talking about choosing one article to do a month, so you could send it out monthly, or obviously you could do it quarterly, which is what they've called it, is a quarterly magazine. But we were just talking about doing it once a month. So you just take one of the 3 articles out and pick those in your template. So now we have that PDF there that we could use. And we also have that front cover. And the reason that I did that is so that in Command, another thing that we can do, let that page get back to where it was. We want to go back into the regular side of Command and go to our Smart Plans there. And so I'm going to open up my designs here. So you can see where, my goodness, internet's lagging on me today. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. It's in here somewhere. I've made this a couple of times, so it's I'll go back one more step. My internet would work with me. That would be great. I want to get to, let me get out of that. Come freshly into designs. My internet's low. There it is. All right, so here is the one I just made. I'm going to open that up so that we're back here. The other thing that we can do is click this share button. And you don't want to share just this design. That would just be that page. You want to share the project. And you can copy this URL right here. Okay. And I'll let you see what that looks like when somebody opens it that you sent it to. It would take them to your magazine to where they can flip like this. Okay. Another agent that I spoke to is using FlipSnack as a way to convert magazines. I think that you do have to pay for that, but they like for it to look like pages that are turning. So there are several online flip books that you can make, you know, where it looks like an actual magazine, like you can see that here in the picture, and it flips the pages like this. There are several different companies that you can do this with if you so choose. So those are some ways that you can share it, right? The PDF version, attachment.
So in that instance, you're sending an email to folks and saying, hey, here's my latest newsletter, click on this link.
For this
Right.
one, I'm about to show you what to do with the link. You mean for the FlipSnack or for the one that?
No.
Yeah, for this one. Yeah, I'm going to show you. So now we can actually create a smart plan and say like Monica's February newsletter. Click apply. And this is actually just going to be for me in this instance. I'm just going to set it up. I'm only setting up this 1 month today. So I'm just going to send an email. Okay. And I'm going to enter the subject my monthly newsletter. Obviously, you guys would give it something snazzier, but for the point of this, it's going to keep it simple. And we can go to designs and select a design. Okay. If you had already gone to designs and created this, that's great. But if not, one of the designs that I like for stuff is these classic basic. You just got, there it is. You just have to keep moving down in the email templates that are available. So I'm going to choose classic basic. Pick that as my design. And it's going to bring up this basic looking email, but it's already got, you know, all of my branding down here at the bottom, my legal footer and all of that fun stuff. It also has my Market Center logo up here at the top. So then I can just change this out and say, you know, winter real estate update or February real estate update or whatever, you know, you would like for that to be called. I'm going to click done. And then in this chat or text area, I could say, you know, I hope you and yours are staying warm this winter. Heat up with the latest real estate news. Whatever snazzy stuff you want to put in here.
And so since this is a smart plan, smart plans top out, email smart plans top out at a maximum of 100 recipients. And they time out, you can only do them with 30-day intervals.
You mean making like a break period between?
Yeah,
I'm just making a single step smart plan.
right, but
I'm not putting like, I'm not building out for the whole year. I'm just
Yeah.
making one single email and sending it as a smart plan.
all right.
All right, so check out the article on budgeting in 2021. Right, so you guys would come up with your own unique way to name all this stuff. I'm also going to bring in an image, and I'm going to drop it right here below. And I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to take that front cover that we just made so that it looks like a nice, pretty picture. I'm going to let that finish. Select it and click save. And then I'm going to actually add a button right there. Click my button and my pen and say, read the latest issue of my newsletter. Okay. Read the article here, whatever you want to call it on the button. Oh, no special characters. All right. So I'm good. I think I actually want my background color to be red, so it stands out a little bit more. Rounded is fine. I'm going to make my width longer and click done. And maybe if I could spell, that would be good. Read the article here. There we go. And so then I can click this button and I can make it link to this, right? So that was that digital shared copy that we looked at. Get that out of there. So it's actually that one. Click copy on that. And we are linking the read the article here button to a web address for that magazine and clicking done. And so now I can actually preview the email. Obviously your email would have better verbiage than my email. But winter real estate update, I hope you and yours are staying warm read the article here. And they could click on this. And so that's what the email would look like. So then you could set it up like that. You could also do this as an email campaign, whether you're using Command Mail, MailChimp. You can share this on your Facebook page, tweet it out on Twitter, share it on Instagram, or if you want to get fancy with it and get to the kids, you can put it on TikTok, right? It's just a link. So there's lots of different ways that you could do this. Once you have a link for something, you can pretty much share it in any way that you want. I do choose to share things so that they have some sort of graphic, whether you took this New Beginning magazine article cover or you wanted to take the front picture of the article that you're actually wanting them to read this month. As long as you have something graphically pleasing that they can see in the email. And so you could even send yourself a test email, which I'm going to do, to my email address. And this basic newsletter might look familiar to you because that is what I used when I asked you guys to do your survey on your e-signature platform. So we'll let that load. And there's that email. So I can see how it looks. It comes from Monica Perry. Looks like this, has the article. They can read the article, click there, and it's going to open up my magazine. And again, if you would have done a Flip Snack, then you would have the link to the Flip Snack. So when they opened it up, they would get something that looked more like this.
Yeah.
Right? And so you know, again, if you made a Flip Snack, you would still have a link. You could still share it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever that you wanted to share it. So super cool there. Do you guys have any questions about how we did any of this? And of course, this is recorded and I will pop it up on YouTube here in a little bit. We're essentially just breaking down this quarterly magazine into once a month. And you can add what pages you want to add, or if you have like your latest numbers or the Market Center's latest numbers, you know, this one came with a pre-built page for year in review. You could actually add this page and change it to year in review is fine from 2020, right? But if you wanted to, you could just say like month in review. If you just wanted to do February over January, right? Or March over February once we get there. So you could change this to be really however you want it to be. And then you have your pre-made content, which is awesome.
And if I had stuff saved that I had made in Canva and I wanted to upload that page, is it that bottom section with the little arrow?
So what I would do there, Kristen, in whatever you made in Canva, even if it is laid out as a PDF like page in a PDF format like this is, download it from Canva as an image, because I actually helped somebody with that before. And so it's down here when you're in the pages, right? And so what I noticed, you know, PDFs are done in layers. They're like layer upon layer of text on top of images and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So when we tried to import the PDF right here, it wasn't pulling all the layers in. But what he did, and I can show you an example. Let me just pull up a PDF of some variety that has some images in it. Ooh, I just saw my real trends. Where'd that go? Okay. So say that I just want to show you some type of a PDF that has graphic in it so you can see it. So say I wanted to take this KW makes up 21.5% of the real trends, right? I just wanted this page. Mm-hmm. I would just take this and if you have a Mac, they have a lot of converters, and I have a PDF editor, so I can convert. But if you don't have any of those things, don't stress. You can just go to PDF to PNG online. Okay, it's a free PDF converter. You can upload that file, and that was in my Real Trends right here. And it was this, I had already done it actually, so I could share it.
Mhm.
But you would just take that PDF and it would convert it right into a graphic. Okay.
And just so you know, Canva does allow
Right,
you
you
to
can choose
download
if
it.
you made it in Canva, absolutely.
Yeah,
You can choose which way to do it, but I would do it as an image
okay,
so that when you are in here, then you can add a blank page is what it's going to put in.
okay,
And you can come over to images, add,
gotcha.
and just upload that image from your computer like so. And once it's done, we can click on it and let it do its little loading. Give it a second. It gets clear, I promise. It just takes it a minute. We just line it up, drag it out, and then it turns into a page. I think that my
Cool.
computer's just going painfully slow at this moment.
And do you expect, so they preloaded this as a quarter lease and they put like 3 articles in there. Do you expect, 3-4 months from now that they're gonna
Yes.
pull out? Yeah,
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. And this is just the first version of it. So, the more feedback that we give them on what we think about it, the more that they're going to be able to improve it. And, maybe I would say it would be a month or 2, then they'll have the next one out. For those of us who like to plan ahead, the only thing with this is if you are trying to give some real-time market data in with your article, which to me is a big value add to somebody that you're sharing with, you can go ahead and set up, the designs to have like this article, this page of market statistics, my intro and whatever. You can have that set up, but then I would actually go in the day before you send it to add the market specific information. I think that's one of the
Right.
things that newsletters were lacking, in my opinion. Like, how can you have 6 months of articles prepared if you don't know what's going to happen in 6 months? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I like giving them some real-time information along with an article that's about budgeting or taking care of your home for spring or spring cleaning or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I like doing that combo. And so not too bad. Very similar to doing the listing and the buyer presentation. You guys like this? Is this something that you're gonna like having?
Yeah, I like it. It'll really come down to seeing how long. I mean, I'm sure once you get used to it, it doesn't look like it's going to take very long to design, which leads me to my one question.
Yeah.
And this is probably too advanced for the system right now, but I noticed a lot of the pages have the generic KW, logo at the top.
Mhm.
It's not to the point yet where I could pull in our
Well, I mean, I dropped
KW
this up here.
Elite.
Yeah, I dropped this.
But it doesn't auto populate to the all pages yet, does it?
No. Like but you just changed it. So did you go through though, Kristen, and set up your assets page yet? Because that makes things a
No.
lot easier. I don't know if you
Okay.
remember when we first got designs, like you could upload like 2 logos and that was all you could do. So
Yeah,
now go ahead, honey.
when we first got designs, I found that I was just so much better set up in Canva.
Yeah. Under your assets now, and I'm going to go back so you can see where it is. I mean, you
Okay.
see where I'm adding it from.
Yeah.
They're working on stuff in designs today. So if we see it glitch out, it's just going to be one of those things because they're getting it ready for family reunion. They're probably adding some more stuff in there. Give it a little refresh. There we go. So let me go back a step. So you can see, like, I have all of our photos here and a picture of the office, and I have all the Winston-Salem logos, all of the Greensboro logos, some generic KW logos. I have all these different ones because back in, I guess it's going to keep doing that to me. Let me try to go into designs fresh. Somebody warned me before I taught this class today that designs, that they were working on something. I was like, it's okay. I'm going to risk it. You go to designs. To get there, you have to get into the system, right? So designer, if you want to work on stuff on your tablet, and I don't have my tablet in here, or on your phone, I prefer my tablet because phones are pretty small. You can actually download Designer, which is DESYGNER, and it will let you log in with your KW credentials, and you'll get all of your stuff right here and be able to get in there and edit it. So to get in, you have to actually get into the system. So right now you can still see the command applets on the left. You need to get to the point where you can't see those, which means you're actually in the Designs ecosystem. So you can just choose to create anything just so you can move forward. Let me pick something like social. Just want it to get me into, it may not let me in there today. It's thinking about it. But it definitely makes it a lot easier when you have like all your logos and stuff in there. You can set up color schemes, Kristen. You can make sure that the website's in there, the name's in there, Samantha's name's in there, this person's name, and all the photos. And then on the left, when you're adding a photo, instead of doing like the stock images, you just pick my assets and it will lay out a list of all your stuff and you can replace everything with it. But it doesn't do it like auto popped, right? So I can click this. Oops. Ooh, there we go. My assets. That's where you need to be. So you can set up color palettes, right? As many as you want. If you have a custom font for your team, you could upload it here. You can upload logos, make folders of logos, smart text, images, elements. If you're like emoji happy, you can put those in there.
Yeah.
Videos and files.
Okay. And once you save them all in here, whenever I click my assets, all of those things will pop. Like under yours right now in my assets just shows images. Like if you would put logos, those would show up as well.
But logos is down here.
Oh, okay. So it breaks it out by the different categories.
Right.
Okay.
So like I could click this, say I wanted to make this for Greensboro, then I could open up my Greensboro logos and hit replace.
Okay. Easy enough.
Right. And so you have files worth of, I don't have any icons, but I did add a lot of text under my assets there. I added all this stuff in. I added these images in under my assets, right? So you have several ways that you can do that. Good?
Yeah, perfect.
And it'll get better and better.
Yeah.
You know, it's growing. And I'm looking forward to see what else they give us with these magazines and this kind of content that's available for us.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
So Monica, someday in the future, I don't know how typical I am, but I would love to spend 2 hours, and all of the objective would be to fill out the assets things. Where do I go to get the icon, the different colored icons for KW?
Like our logos, you mean?
Well, I'm suggesting big picture that.
You're talking about this, Jim?
Yeah.
You already have these on your computer. I helped you when you onboarded, put them on. We put them on both your Mac and your PC in the Market Center. But if you don't, so they should be saved there under KW Elite logos. But if you need to go retrieve them again, you go to My KW and you go to Marketing and you go to Logos and Branding. There are other ways to get here, but from within some of the stuff that you do in Command, it will actually say, you know, do you need to go get your Market Center logo? And this is where it brings you. And then you just type 994 and click download, and it downloads a zipped photo file. And you just have to unzip it and get the files out. But I'm pretty sure we did it both on that red MacBook that you had. Was it red? Yeah. And then the other laptop that we put them on there. And then if you want like primary logos, I use these a lot since I work between 2 market centers. If I'm making something for both, then I'll just use the KW logo. And
Right.
so you can actually download these there too. And get your identity and
Yes,
style guide and all that stuff.
The point I was arcing towards was you frequently, very quickly go, oh, I just have this stuff over here in these, these folders. And for people that are new to Command and new to design or upskilling in design,
Mhm.
not having those things fleshed out yet, a session about how do we flesh out all of the different tabs and physically walking people through that process would be, I think, useful to the newer people to the design process. 'Cause
Gotcha.
when-
I'll tell you, Jim, hold on one second. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording on this so that we can have the class. And then I'll let Kristen go do her stuff and then we can chat about it, okay?
Yeah.
Just one sec. Let me go ahead and stop this recording.
This was pretty cool. I was excited to see this.